Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Intentional Productivity Tips. I am Megan. I am your very favorite strategic productivity partner, and I want to thank you for being here with me today. You are watching me on USA Global TV and Radio's YouTube channel, where I would like to ask you to please like, subscribe, and even be notified when new episodes are dropped. Also, check out our website, USA Global TV and Radio. You can learn about the amazing programs, opportunities, other shows, and topics that you can learn about to make yourself better. Truly, the programs are worldwide. So check that out. That's usaglobaltvandradio.com. So today, I am thankful, as always, for you to join and to be here to talk about your productivity. Today, I am excited because, as you know, I not only love productivity, but I love the idea of being intentional with productivity. Hint, hint, it's the name of the show. So today we're really going to lean into that. We're going to talk about a mid-year productivity check-in. We're going to look at where are we for the rest of 2025. So it's snapshot. It is July of 2025. Check-ins never have to be exact. They can be, but they can be around the time. One thing you're going to learn when I'm talking about productivity or any kind of check-ins, what I'm going to say is find what works for you and what you need in the moment. So right now, I was thinking about my productivity last week, and I was like, I need a little bit of a check-in. And I said to myself, self, because that's what I call myself. I said, self, I bet there's some other people that might need a productivity check-in. So that's why today we are talking about 5 steps for how you can check in with your productivity. That's a big topic, isn't it? Check in with your productivity. What do I mean? I mean, how are you doing with your habits, processes, systems, tools, mindset? How are you doing with your priorities and projects, right? How are you doing with what you need to get done in 2025? So that is a big topic. So I've got 5 steps for us to break it down. But at the heart of it, what I want for you to do is I want you to think whether it's your calendaring and how you're using your calendaring system, whether it's priorities and if you're working on where you are with your priorities. When it comes to any of that with the checklist, we basically, anytime we do a check-in, we're kind of asking ourselves 3 things, right? Do we want to keep it? Do we need to change it? Or do we need to move on? And so that's what we're going to look at for some of the areas. And that's kind of what I want you to think of when you're thinking of your mid-year productivity check-in. So let's look at those 5 steps. So check in. The 5 steps are, what is the current status? I mean, July 2025, what's changed since January, right? Nothing's changed. So what is the current status of your priorities, your goals, what you're working on now as compared to where it was in January and where you had planned it to be? Again, are you on track? Are you off track? Or do you need to make adjustments, right? Happenings. We're going to look at what's happening now, what's happening in July 2025, halfway through the year, right? What's happening up to this point? And then what do you need to happen? What do you want to have happen for the rest of the year, for the rest of the time period? We're going to look at your energy and engagement. We're going to look at calendaring and clarity. And then we're most important, as always, going to keep it real. When it comes to our productivity and check-ins, if we don't keep it real, why bother? So let's start with checking in with yourself. Let's take a mid-year productivity pulse. So this is a pulse. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions, right? So there's 5 categories. I'm going to ask you some questions in each of the categories for you to consider where you are with your productivity. Again, the goal is for you to come to top of mind, right? I have found when it comes to check-ins, my first thoughts are generally the best thoughts as far as how I want to move forward. And so what I would like for you to do is I'm going to ask you some questions, answer where you are, take an idea of where that is. Then I'm going to give you some quick tips for the next 5 areas for you to check in with yourself. This is your mid-year productivity pulse. So let's get started by talking a bit again about your current status. Let's talk about your current status. Are you on track with your original goals for 2025? What goals have shifted or disappeared entirely? Do you have new projects, new goals, new job, new living situation, new anything that needs to be taken into consideration? And then third, when it comes to your current status, do you want to continue, change, or chuck anything? Are there any priorities, projects, or anything that you want to chuck, get rid of? So when it comes to your current status, the quick tip review is review your current priorities and ask yourself, do we stay the course? Do we adjust slightly? Or do I just need to let it go for right now? So quick tip, when it comes to current status, look at your current priorities and ask yourself, stay the course, adjust slightly, or let it go. Let's look at the second question we're going to ask ourselves, happenings. What's changed in your life since January? Been a pretty mellow year. What's changed in your life since January? What new opportunities or obstacles have popped up? How have these changes impacted your productivity or focus? If there's anything in your happenings that has changed up to now, that's going to change the rest of your year, how can you address it, right? Here's your quick tip to reflect on. Take a minute and look at the good, the hard, and the surprise for the past 6 months. We can definitely learn about the surprises, right? It's important to look at those. So where are your happenings of 2025 so far, since we're just halfway through the year? Okay, so we've looked at the current, we've looked at our happenings. Our third step, energy and engagement. How are you doing socially and mentally? That can be a hard one, but what I want to know is, how are you doing socially and mentally? Are you doing good? Do you need to make changes? Or are you status quo? When's the last time you had fun? I mean, you saw a friend and you laughed out loud. We all need to laugh. It helps our energy and engagement, and it makes life better. When was the last time you laughed? When's the next time you're going to laugh? Let's schedule it. Make sure it happens. Laugh frequently and often. Have you learned anything new? Do you want to learn anything new? Or are you good to go for now? I recently had a client that just finished a project, and he had to learn several new tools and a bunch of things. It was about a 9-month project that was long and stressful. And as we were talking about the end of it, I was like, what are the lessons you learned? How did you do? And his response in his face was so genuine. He's like, I've learned too much, Megan. I'm done learning for a while. And you know what I said to him? That's the most honest thing you could have said. And absolutely, let's go back to what you've learned, and let's celebrate that. And let's also realize that right now you're good, and that's okay. We have had to learn a lot over these last years. It's okay to say, for right now, my energy engagement, I'm good, not learning anything new. Or maybe you do want to learn something. What do you want to do for yourself? How do you want to engage your mind and your energy? What do you want that to look like for the rest of the year? Quick tip, schedule one energizing activity this week just for you. Highly recommend. Schedule one energizing activity this week just for you. I am going to have a pedicure with my sister this Saturday, and I'm very excited about that. That is going to make me laugh, and it will be good for my energy. What are you going to schedule for you? Highly recommend a pedicure. All right, so let's move on to the fourth, right? So we're looking at 5 steps. This is fourth, calendar and clarity. Time for a calendar reality check. When you think of your calendar and you think of the things that you've been working on and doing, is it what you wanted for 2025? Or are there things you wish you had more of? Friend time, social time, beach time, beach time? Or are you good with the pacing and what's been going on? Ask yourself, am I good with my calendar and scheduling and the way things are going? Real world, right? Real talk. Do you need to schedule admin time? Now, remember, we've talked a little bit about this before, but if you're new and we need a reminder because it's that important. When you think about our days and our calendars, they're full and they get full fast because we have repeating meetings and different things and deadlines. One of the things that I've found and I've identified working with clients, scheduling admin kind of tasks. What do I mean by that? Maybe picking up your glasses. Maybe you need to take some things to FedEx. Maybe there's some shredding that needs to go. Maybe there's stuff been driving in the trunk of your car that needs to go to the Goodwill. Or maybe there's a project that you just need 3 good hours of uninterrupted focus time to work on. Maybe there is something, again, there's tasks or there are things that you're not able to do because the work day and just distractions in the way that the life flows, right? So what I always recommend, schedule some admin time for yourself. A day a quarter is my dream. I like a half day. I'm okay with 2 hours because, I'm picky when it comes to stuff like this. I firmly believe that an admin day will make a difference for you. And I do have a client where he did not agree with me for the longest time. Then he did it. And now he's like, I need my admin time. And I'm like, yes, another convert to admin time. Okay, so kind of like that. Do you need to schedule an admin time? So we're talking about a calendar and clarity check, right? Where are we with our calendar, how we're spending our time, how we're focusing our time, and how our lives are shaping up when it looks like throughout the day. So another question, do you have a block? Do you have time to block a break or day off or treat yourself window, right? So not only do we need admin day, but we need to treat ourself windows, and we need to have those frequently, because here's the thing, if we don't add it to our calendar, other appointments are going to show up, especially if we work in offices and situations where other people have access to our calendars, or we have a Calendly link or any kind of scheduling link. We no longer have 100% control of our calendar. So that's why I talk about these things, because we don't have 100% control of our calendar in many situations. And if we don't, we need to take control and be intentional with things like admin time or break time. All right. Now, what's one small adjustment that you can make to your weekly schedule that would make it more sustainable? Okay, so again, let's go back and think of calendaring and clarity, right? So I'm going to ask you the questions again because we've talked through them, wanted you to think through them. So let's ask the questions for calendar and clarity. Time for a calendar reality check. Is your schedule and where you've been spending your time what you want, or do you need to make adjustments for the rest of the year? Do you need to schedule admin time? Do you have a day off, a mental break, a treat yourself window scheduled? And most important, what's one small adjustment that would make your weekly schedule more sustainable? Calendaring clarity is a very important thing to be intentional with because, again, we don't have control of our calendars anymore, always. So, quick tip, try and schedule a 1-day admin session quarterly, again, ideal, but by the end of 2025, I promise you, between now and December 31st, schedule one admin day. Let me know what you think about it because it's going to make a difference. I've seen it and I believe in it, and it works for me too. So that's our fourth productivity check-in, calendar and clarity. Now let's look at our fifth point. Our fifth check-in point for our mid-year productivity check. Again, we are in July. We have some time to go. It is the hot part of the summer. I'm in Northern California. If you can see, I do have my air conditioner unit keeping me cool. We want to look at how are we with our productivity for the rest of the year, right? So we've looked at the first areas. We looked at where we are. We've looked at what we need to be doing. So let's look at our fifth question right now of Keep It Real. And that is, what do you want the rest of the year to look like? Most important thing here, keep it real, be honest. Ask yourself, answer for just you. You don't have to answer this out loud. What do you want the rest of your year to look like? What matters most to you right now? What's one quiet goal, a behind the scenes shift or habit that you want to nurture? Keep it real with yourself. It's important for us to have things like quiet goals. It's important for us to have things we want to work on and know what matters most to us, because that's why we keep getting up every day. Life is busy. There is a lot coming at us. We have more time. We have more to do than time. So keeping it real and identifying these things is critical. So the quick tip for keeping it real is write a rest of your 2025 snapshot. Write the rest of your 2025 vision snapshot in just 3 sentences. Take some time, take a few minutes and just say, you know what, here's what I want. Here's my vision for the rest of 2025. And that way you'll know and you'll keep it real with yourself. So we have now looked at 5 check-in points for your mid-year productivity check-in. We've looked at the challenges. We have looked at the current status. We have looked at happenings, energy engagement, calendar and clarity, and keep it real. So let's bring it all together right now and say, how can you do a productivity check-in with yourself? Let's review the quick tips that we talked about. So again, we want to look at the current status with your priorities, with your tools, with your goals, your projects. We want to look at them and we want to ask ourselves, do we stay the course? Do we need to adjust slightly or let it go? Look at your current status and ask yourself those 3 questions. That is the first step for your productivity check-in. Second, be honest about the happenings. This is where I am right now. This is what's going on right now. Look at the last 6 months and say the good, the hard, and even a surprise. Identify what those have been, because especially at this point, we'll be able to learn from it. When we're looking at finishing the year, when we're looking at finishing the race of 2025, celebrating and looking at where we've been and what we've done so far, it's going to help us move forward. So that's the third productivity quick tip check-in for the mid-year for energy and engagement. Fourth, calendar and clarity. Schedule one admin day for yourself between now and December 31st. Please, if you do anything, do that, because it's going to make a difference. And then fifth, keep it real. Write your rest of the 2025 vision snapshot. Just 3 sentences. It's no pressure. Just think about it. Again, you don't necessarily have to write it. You can write it in your mind or think about it. The goal of a check-in is to be quick and honest with yourself, to identify and to learn, where are you? Where are you going to go? How can you get there? What do you want the rest of the year to look like? What do you want 2025 to be? I want to thank you for joining me today to think about your productivity mid-year check-in. I will be back with you next Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific. And I hope between now and then, please say you'll have scheduled at least an admin day or something for yourself. As I said, Saturday, I'm having a pedicure with my sister. So please be sure to take time and look at your schedule and how can you make the rest of your year what you want it to be. Again, I want to thank you for joining me for this productivity quick tip. It has been the quick tip. The goal has been for you to think about it, for you to look at where am I and where do I want to go? How do I want to change it? Please join me next Thursday. I will be back at 2 p.m. Pacific, as I am every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific. Please join me here on USA Global TV and Radio's YouTube channel, where remember to like, subscribe, and even be reminded where there's new episodes. Now, next Thursday, I think you are going to enjoy it because there's something specific in your productivity that's going to be for you, your productivity and you. So come check us out next Thursday at 2 o'clock. Thank you for being here, but more important, thank you for being intentional with your productivity. Thank you for checking in where you have been for 2025, and be intentional to plan the rest of 2025 so that it's what you want to be, what you've worked so hard to achieve and get to. Thanks again. I will see you next Thursday. Here is a word from our sponsor.
From the magical world of the amazing adventures of Lady Ella comes a heartwarming new journey filled with kindness, courage, and compassion. Lady Ella, the beloved ladybug and listening mentor, is back, and this time she is not alone. Meet her brave and thoughtful brother, Lord Jack. Together, they take flight on their very first kindness adventure. Along the way, they meet 3 new friends in need: a duck feeling discouraged, a mouse struggling to be understood, and a busy little bee who's completely lost. But with the power of elevated listening and simple acts of kindness, Lady Ella and Lord Jack show us how understanding and empathy can make the biggest difference in someone's day. Written by Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, the listening mentor, this 9th book in the best-selling Lady Ella series teaches children ages 5 to 10 the essential skills of listening, kindness, and etiquette. Now available for pre-order on Amazon. Scan the QR code and order your copy today.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.